Engines are magnificent pieces of machinery made up of thousands of moving parts working together in harmony.
But what happens when all that fails spectacularly? We hired real mechanics to watch catastrophic engine failures with us and tell us specifically what went wrong and what could have been done to prevent it. I'm Job, he's Paul. I'm Jeremiah, he's Sandro.
I'm Justin, he's Jacob. This is Real Mechanic Stuff.
All right, Sandro, so this first group of videos are cars being pushed past their limit.
Let's see some stuff blow up. He's trying to record with one hand, mistake number one.
Okay, we're in the second.
Ooh, all the way in the red line.
Oh!
Missed that shift.
Yeah, that went deep. Oh!
Uh-oh.
And he revs the thing to the moon.
What'd he do, smack a valve?
Yep.
There's his turbo.
Yeah, it tried to eat some of those parts.
Yep. Took some of the impellers out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That turbo.
Oh, look at the veins, all bent up.
There's your eBay turbo right there, baby.
Yeah, well, hey, without making it hurt a lot less if you only spend $200 on the turbo.
Well, now you're buying the motor too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You may have heard the term money shift, and if you haven't, it's called that because of how much money you're gonna have to spend to fix what you just broke.
So you're real high in the RPM, so you're going from third to fourth. You miss fourth, go into second. Boom.
Beautiful.
Great money shift. Your wallet just got a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
What really happens when you money shift?
It just over-revved. He probably went to 10,000 RPM. It wasn't made to go spin that fast.
Yeah.
Going from 9,000 to 13,000 and everything just jumps out of that motor as fast as it can.
Oh, man.
You're messing up the trans and everything's up. Valves, snaps, blows, motor, everything, turbo, everything's gone right there.
What can someone do to prevent that?
Learn how to drive the car.
Pay attention. Learn how to drive, not playing.
So that's an example of accidentally pushing your engine beyond the limit of where it's supposed to go. Now let's look at a way that someone intentionally messed up their engine. Ooh.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh!
Some real 350Z owner activities right
Yeah.
He did that. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
The rod flew out?
that's dope.
Whoa! Ejectocito, cuz.
All right, so this guy is showing off at the car meet for all his boys because he thinks his car sounds amazing. It's just a 350Z, come on. And then he explodes the rod out of the side of the block.
It comes down to the same thing. Over rev.
Over revving.
Can't take it.
Failed.
Valves.
So it must have punched a hole
Rods.
through the block and the rod shot out.
Yep, just came out. I should have came and sit down next to him and be like, what's up, what's cracking? What are we doing?
What are we doing? Why
What are
am
we
I
doing?
here?
Why am I outside?
What is this outside world? I should be bathed in oil
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
just chilling outside next to you like that.
I mean, over-revving, and like you said, wherever's the weakest link, and that's what it was, it let go, and then, because the crank's still moving, it's going to get shot out somewhere. It's got to go somewhere.
He could have been doing that for 15 minutes. for
I've
all we
seen some
know.
other videos online that people are just on there for minutes. Everything's glowing red, and I'm just like, man, you probably still have a monthly car payment on that thing. I don't think you should do that.
Mom, can you help me?
That wasn't worth it.
No, dude, that wasn't worth that at all.
Lesson learned, don't sit and park revving out your car. It's just a dumb thing to do. Let's move on and see some more catastrophic engine failures.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, some diesel pulls.
Yeah.
This is some redneck stuff
This
right
is
here.
definitely going to be spectacular. Just pulling the sled.
I like that. I like that.
I like that.
Three-wheel
Diesel.
motion.
Oh! Dude, the whole engine ripped out.
Came out. Wow.
This thing's sick. Ooh. Oh. This is a motorsport. You're pushing everything to its absolute limits so you can win the event. Things like this are probably gonna happen.
It's fully expected for everybody. Any type of motorsport, drag racing, drifting,
Yeah.
everyone's seen it. Bad failures happen, and that's just how things work. I mean, granted, when that motor was designed and engineered, they weren't expecting, oh, this guy's gonna pull, 50,000 pounds down the street. It's all good. Respect.
This guy is so chill, too. Watch, this thing pops. And then look at the flat guy. Red flag.
Chilling.
Hey, we think we got a problem here. Bust your engines in the friggin' track. What do you think went wrong here?
Motor mount just gave out. Motor mount said goodbye.
Yeah.
That was it. Straight up. That's too much power.
How much boost do you think that thing is running?
I'm guessing 60 pounds.
Those tractor pull guys are crazy, and the diesel rigs they set up are insane. And so when they come apart like that, and it's nuts. And if you didn't get enough tractor pull action from that, let's check out some more.
Nothing's cooler than big trucks, other than big trucks exploding.
That thing's doing a wheelie.
Oh. That's exactly what you're talking
Engine
about.
failure.
Yeah.
Dang, how many engines that guy got?
3 in a row, right?
Ooh.
Oh.
Get out of there, dude.
So he had 4 race engines and one of them exploded.
Yeah.
And then lost a whole bunch of fuel.
And it did such a flamethrower setup. I mean, it looked like it was just spewing fuel.
Man, that's green flames. What causes green flames?
I would say like either methanol or like C16.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Again, competition. You're pushing this thing as far as you can go.
I'm sure it started back in the day. Who had the buffest horse?
Right,
And then once tractors replaced horses, they're like, well, we still want to do this.
Just dig it in the floor.
And so let's try it with tractors. And then like anything else, you know, people would just be like, I got the biggest, baddest tractor around town.
okay.
I could pull a whole stump out with this thing. Speaking of buff horses, go to donutmedia.com, get you some sick buff horse merch.
You should.
Okay, so now let's look at what's called a runaway diesel.
Oh boy, we got a lot of diesels today.
Some bad things happen.
Lates. That's it. Wow.
Look how hot that thing is. That's the headers, right?
Yeah, everything's
Glowing red.
Everything's glowing right there.
Oh,
Motor,
dude,
everything.
Dude, that's scary.
It's so funny because the people that are operating the vehicles and everything's glowing, they can't see it. don't really know.
Look at that thing bucking,
Look,
dude.
look like it's
Like a Bronco.
popping wheelies right there.
This is a classic example of what's called runaway diesel, and it can be really dangerous and result in an explosion. So sometimes diesel vapor in the air from a leaky fuel line or some sort of malfunction gets sucked in through the air intake, and the engine starts revving uncontrollably, which sucks in more air, creates more vapor, and becomes this constant feedback loop.
Well, I've heard horror stories of people getting like sucked in trying to shut off runaway diesels. A guy threw a phone book on top of the intake of a diesel and like sat on it, and it sucked him in. I don't know
Still
if that's
sucked him in.
true. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's a true story, but it's one that made me remember not to with runaway diesels.
You'd think you could just do this.
No.
I've heard of a lot of old Fords doing this.
OBS?
OBS. People love their OBS Fords
Fair enough.
until it runs away on them.
Everyone likes anything till it runs away.
That's
Dogs, children, money.
but we're in luck.
Our next clip is of a guy actually stopping a runaway diesel, so let's see how he does it and whether or not he gets sucked in. Yeah, so this is usually like what you'll see a runaway diesel doing, just sitting there idling.
I like the patina.
Yeah.
Could get a little bit more rusty. There it goes. There it goes.
Ooh, there it is.
She's gone.
Oh no.
Run at full speed.
Oh, that's cool.
Smart man.
God, that scares me with his hand there.
That's a real hero right there.
Dang, dude.
That's a hero.
That's scary.
I thought he was gonna put his hand right there.
Yeah,
I was like, you're gonna high five that turbo? Wow.
that must be something that's happened to that guy before,
Yeah,
because
got
he
that.
had that piece right there already in the event that
Yeah.
you know, that thing kept sucking in air.
He's like, I got it, my back. Boom.
Choke it out. Choke it out. When in doubt, choke it out.
So it seems like when the runaway diesels get to that point, they just keep sucking more and more fuel, increasing RPM more and more until they either blow up or you figure out something that you can do about it.
Now, runaway diesels are a pretty rare occurrence, and they're caused by an engine part malfunctioning, but many other parts of a car fail way more frequently, like this one.
It's like as it's revving down and he walked away, the cam just says,
A Sandro, so it looked like a cam gear failed. Have you ever seen that before?
You know, honestly, no.
No? That's
No,
wild.
it's never happened to me. But it happens with the aftermarket stuff.
Yeah. Why?
Either he didn't tighten it up right, didn't torque it down, or One of those two things. That's about it.
If the cam stopped, I mean, it was frozen for somehow.
Yeah.
So they had the cam torqued down too tight, and it froze. The motor was still rotating, so it maybe snapped it off, or the bolt that holds the cam gear on wasn't torqued properly. I mean, that's the only two guesses I really have.
Cross-threaded, stripped, stretched, over-torqued.
Stop revving your engines like dry like that. Like just sitting there, man. I don't know. It's so silly to me.
Again, someone revving their car really high. But this looks modified, so it probably has a limiter and is made not
Control.
to. Yeah, there's control to this. But that didn't stop it from breaking.
I don't have a ton of experience with that, but I do have some experience with Subis, which is our next video.
We know about Subarus and their oil starvation issues. What happens when you run one without an oil pan altogether?
He's just gonna make a mess. At least put a drain pan under there.
It already sounds like its bearings are gone.
Why would we do this?
Why would you even try that?
It sounded like it was already hurt. Oh, I think that's why they're doing it. Why else would you?
Yeah. Give her some revs.
Wow. What are we doing? Wow, wow. Hazardous.
What? What? Why?
Why though?
I like it. He's like, I wonder how long it'll run. It's like, oh, there's just bang rev over for 5 minutes. Imagine like the flames from the exhaust went back up to the oil pan. And
Oh
caught the
yeah,
oil
that's
on
probably
fire.
exactly what that is.
There's stuff on the ground
Oh,
glowing.
there's
though.
slag on the ground. Ooh!
Things got a little warm.
Oh, everything got warm.
The internet thought we were bad at working on Subis.
Wow.
Look how hot it is. It's still freaking red and bent. You did that for 63,000 likes? That's insane to me. What happens when you don't use engine oil, Sandro?
Everything comes out.
Yeah, the metal gets so hot.
And
it
the
turns
boys.
The
And
boys,
like it.
dude, the boys like it.
That's what it is. The boys like it.
You do it for the boys. Sometimes it's the part that fails. Sometimes it's the car's owner that fails. Actually, it's most of the time.
Yeah.
It's user error that causes the worst kind of failures like this one.
Customer towed car in because it doesn't start anymore after adding water.
Oh no! Oh no!
Interesting.
Holy mackerel.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow. You didn't even stop. You just kept going over that water.
No. Oh. Oh, no. No.
Look like a little lake in there.
No. Dude, this is why you need good parents.
Do not, under any circumstances, put water in your engine.
Water is definitely not a lubricant. It is a great coolant. I mean, it helps cool things down, but it doesn't lubricate anything.
Remember the Tin Man? The Wizard of Oz? Yeah. Remember the little thing he used to put on his knee?
Yep.
Yeah. That's that.
Those signs gotta get bigger. Oil, water. They gotta get bigger.
Let's look at some more carnage involving water.
Oh, yeah. Nice flood.
I love these videos. People just,
Think their car's a submarine?
yeah, they just go for it.
Do not cross, dude. What are you doing?
Come on.
What? Look, steering in there.
You
What
gotta
are you
get a little
steering for?
Little
You-
pedal out. It's like when I
It's 3 foot tall. You know, it's got a sign there. It tells you the height.
flow, my dude.
What do you think is going on in that car right now? Is he
I think the motor already stopped. I mean, it stopped running.
But there's like water rushing into the cabin at this point. Do you think he's freaking out? Or is he just like,
Nah, it's not.
whatever?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it's not deep enough. His prosthetic.
You see someone standing there with a camera waiting on you to make a stupid mistake so they can go viral. Just don't go.
You'd be better off pushing it across, right? You're not sucking the water into the motor.
Yeah.
Just push it, you know, yeah.
Turn it off, push it, you know.
And then just go on with your day. Everything's cooled off, engine bay's nice and clean.
Or just find another route.
Was this guy doing it too? In the big honker?
That's a champ.
No way.
Don't tell me you got stuck.
Oh! Is that a septic? Oh, dude. What are you doing?
Wow. Honestly, I'm surprised on that one.
He's basically plugging the air going into the motor so it can't run any longer.
Yeah, so he's sucking water into the intake. And what can happen when you do that?
You can blow your motor or launch a rod. Water doesn't compress.
and those pistons, you can't compress the water.
Yep.
So it's called hydrolocking, and your engine locks up. So what you have to do is then you gotta take all the spark plugs out and then crank it over, push all that water out.
Lube it up.
Spray a whole bunch of WD-40s
lube it up,
or
throw some
something
oil
down
in
in there. Yeah, put some oil in there. So luckily the next dude stopped this before any damage was done. And this is how you get water out of your engine when you hydrolock it.
There's some water inside the cylinders there.
Get out of here. So he pulled the plugs.
Yeah.
He's cranking it over. That is so much water.
Me, a lot of water came out of there. Holy sh**.
Looks like you're in Vegas. The Vegas when they start shooting out the water. Like,
Dude,
this is a Vegas show.
This is
or
the
what?
Bellagio. It's
There
the
you go.
Bellagio, British edition. We don't have Vegas out here, so I figure I'd make my own. Hey Gerald, play the Beatles.
I've bought a car like that too. The guy was like,
yeah.
oh, I flooded this thing. I was like,
Cool.
just kind of scared. Pulled the plugs out, drained it, done.
We're hitting all the elements today. We're going from water to fire.
All right, so he's unhydrolocking his engine manually.
I would use a starter.
Yeah, me too. That's how I did it.
Oh, he hydrolocked with fuel. Oh, got it.
Bad injectors.
Yeah, so he had an injector fail, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fuel. If it is, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is a lot of fuel, but it does kind of look like it just based on like what the windshield looks like now.
And as
You
he
know what? I'll
spun
give
it
him
up-
props if he tries to start it. And burns his car.
Oh, and it hit the 350Z, so they're both going down.
What
How did it spark?
If you don't unplug coil packs and you spin the motor, the alternator can generate power to the coil packs
Oh, man.
and fire them.
It's possible. Crank sensor, cam sensor, if he had the ignition on,
Yeah, maybe.
sent a signal to one of the coils, which he still had hooked up, and caused a spark.
Yeah, regardless of how specifically it happened, this is a good reminder to disconnect your battery anytime you're working on your car, especially if you're squirting fuel 12 feet in the air.
But don't do this. I think the smart way to do this was to get some sort of transfer pump. Obviously drain your oil,
Sometimes you just let it dry out.
dry out.
But that's a lot.
You could siphon it. Like
Yeah.
that's so much fuel, you could put a hose
Yeah,
down
you
in
can
there.
put a hose. They have suctions for that thing.
You wouldn't recommend geysering fuel all over your engine bay in your car.
No, I wouldn't think it's a good idea.
So don't do it, kids. Thank you again, Jacob, for joining us today.
If you want to get a shirt, check these out at donutmedia.com.
Like, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.
Later.
Lates.